Imagine signing a consent form to lose your left leg. You say goodbye to your family, you're wheeled into surgery, the anesthesia takes effect, and everything goes dark. Hours later, you wake up, but something feels wrong. The doctors are whispering, the nurses won't make eye contact. Then someone steps forward to tell you the unthinkable. They removed the wrong leg, and the leg they were supposed to remove is still attached. This isn't a nightmare, it's a real medical legal case from Florida, USA in 1995. A tragedy so severe it helped change operating rooms around the world. Welcome to Vitals and Verdicts, where small moments decide big outcomes. The patient was suffering from a severe circulation problem in his left leg. Doctors had exhausted all options. There was no way to save it. To keep him alive, the leg had to be amputated. The operation was scheduled. Consent forms were signed. On paper, everything was ready. But behind the scenes, invisible mistakes were already pulling up. Different documents didn't tell the same story. Information used in operating area conflicted with patient's medical record. In a busy hospital, people made assumptions instead of asking questions. No one stopped to resolve the conflicting information. The operation began. The surgical team amputated the patient's right leg, the healthy one. It didn't take long for the devastating mistake to be discovered, but the nightmare wasn't over. The diseased leg still couldn't be saved. It also had to be amputated. The patient had agreed to lose one leg. Instead, he lost both. When the investigators began looking into what had happened, they expected to find one careless mistake. Instead, they uncovered something far more alarming. No single person had caused this tragedy. It was a chain reaction. Different documents contained conflicting information. The patient's records identified one leg, while information used in the operating area pointed to the other. These inconsistencies were never fully resolved before the surgery began. Patient safety experts often describe this as Swiss cheese model. Imagine every hospital safety check as a Swiss cheese slice. Each slice has tiny holes, small human errors, or system weaknesses. Most of the time, one safety check catches what another misses. But on that day, every hole lined up. The paperwork, the communication, the preparation, the final verification, one by one, every safety barrier failed, and the mistake reached the patient. The case quickly became the front page news, not just across United States, but around the world. People were left asking the same question. If this could happen here, could it happen anywhere? The patient filed a medical negligence lawsuit against both the hospital and the surgeon, arguing that a mistake of this magnitude should never have been possible. Rather than taking the case all the way to the trial, the parties eventually reached a reported settlement of approximately $900,000. The surgeon also faced disciplinary action from the state medical board, but perhaps the greatest consequence wasn't financial. Hospitals across the country began reviewing their own surgical safety procedures. Cases like this helped drive widespread adoption of surgical timeout, a final pause before every surgery, where the entire team must confirm the right patient, the right procedure, and the correct side of the body. It takes less than 60 seconds, yet those 60 seconds have prevented countless wrong side surgeries around the world. This case reminds us that the most devastating medical errors rarely begin with one catastrophic mistake. They begin with several small ones that no one stops in time. One assumption, one missed question, one final check that never happened. Sometimes the most important moment in operation is the minute before it begins.